So this week we are going to be talking about the very serious topic of client relationships and what it means to your business. It can be the make or break, coming right up. This week I wanted to talk about not just consulting relationships, but the depth and different types of consulting relationships and how it can make or break your business and how you can end up chasing your tail if you don't really get this. And I'm going to illustrate this with a couple of case studies that happened very recently. So let's get right into it. I'm not even going to kind of explain the concept. I'm just going to share two real life case studies. And at the end of it, you'll probably get the point, I think. So a couple of months back, I was approached by two different organizations. Both had very interesting projects that we could help them with. Both were about $100,000 projects. And I approached them in very different ways. So number one, this was a new company for us, a new client. We'd never worked with them before. They had a problem that we could definitely help with before. Sorry, they had a problem that we had definitely solved for other clients before, so we felt very capable of doing it. But they actually kind of strung us out a little bit on the whole engagement process. So we started off dealing with a couple of senior people in the organisation. Things dragged on for 2 or 3 months. We'd submitted proposals, and then they came back to us and said, "Oh, now we're going out to tender. Now procurement's involved. Now we've got this very strict evaluation process, and we need a whole bunch of references. We need very detailed experience. Obviously we're going to measure you on price, and there's this whole evaluation criteria that we're going to go through, and we have to rewrite our proposal to submit to that tender process." Okay, am I enthusiastic about doing that? Not really. I'm in a comfortable position where I don't have to bid for everything that comes along. Let me just preface that, okay? If I was a startup, I'd probably be jumping at it. But if I'm very busy, and if I'm going to allocate my time and resources, would I allocate a lot of time and resources to that one? 20 years ago, yes, I would have burnt the midnight oil, I would have worked all weekend, I would have got that proposal turned around. But hand on heart, I know that we've probably got a 5% chance of winning that one. I won't go into any more detail on that, but I can judge that we've probably got a 5% chance of winning it, 5 or 10%. Because they had worked with other companies in the past who I think they would have favoured more. So, second case, I get a phone call. These are both absolutely true. Second case, I get a phone call. "Hey Rod, this is Jim. Remember me? Yep, we designed your warehouse 10 years ago. We've got to redesign it again. I'd love to have a talk to you about how you can help us." So we set up a Teams call. We have a Teams call. It's pretty clear what they need. We talk about the scope of the work. He basically says, send us a price and we'll get started. I wanted to slow things down a little bit though, and there were some new people in the organisation that I didn't know. So I said, hang on, these were both overseas, by the way. And I said, hang on, let me, come over next week, jump on a plane, they're not that far away. We'll spend a few hours together, look around your warehouse, meet the team, and we'll scope out this bit of work so that we can be absolutely confident that we're all on the same page and so on. That's all set, going to happen next week, and we'll jointly work on the scope of work, put a price in, and I'm sure we'll be started the week after. Just think about those two situations. I'm probably investing the same amount of time in both because, the second one I've actually got to fly over to see them. But the probability that we will get that work is, I guess, about 95% versus 5%. So it's a question of where do I want to allocate my time and resources. And to be honest, when you've been in this game for a while, you kind of don't want to run around in circles anymore. So again, I'll preface it by saying if you're a startup, go for both. Work 18 hours a day. But I think what I'm saying really is be very aware of the probability that you're going to win certain projects, But also the key underlining point of this is about the relationship. The first one, I have no relationship with the buyer at all. And so it's largely going to be a selection on price. I don't want to get into a price war with people. The second one, it's all about the relationship because I worked with that person in the past. We've done good work with the person in the past. And this is the absolute key. Even when you're starting out, do great work for every single client. Over-deliver if you can. You know, really meet all the promises that you've made. Build those solid relationships so that they don't have to go shopping around in the past. You know, oh, okay, some companies will always have to go to tender and get 3 quotes and so on. But most of the people I work with don't need to do that. They want to go to someone they've worked with in the past that they know is reliable, they know will deliver the goods, and you're making their life easy for them because they're going to come to you and they know that they're going to get good value. They know they're not going to get mucked around. The value of that relationship over the initial one, where there was no relationship, is enormous. And so I promised I'd share a KPI at the end of this video. This is a crucial KPI that I monitor all the time. And that is how much of our sales dollars come from existing clients. And I've been monitoring this since we started in 1997. And it is consistently between 60 and 70%. Just let that sink in for a minute. 60 or 70% of our business is from existing clients just calling up and saying, can you come and help with this? We need that again. We need this again. That's the importance of doing good work and building good relationships. And I'd say if you're starting out, obviously you haven't got existing clients, but I've been wanting to hit 50% right from the word go. So in other words, if I'm starting out and I've done a job with one client, my next project I want from the same client. You know, and in fact, I think I've told this story before, where when I started my own consulting business back in 1997, I think I did 15 projects for one client in the first year, and our budget was 3 times what we'd planned it to be, our sales budget. We achieved 3 times the sales budget, all through building relationships. Are you getting the message? It's about the relationships with your clients. I'll put a couple of links at the end of the video for similar topics around trust and things like that, but hope that key point has got over to you. What is it? Comment down below. It's all about relationships. Bye for now.